Hi, this is Deborah from Dinglefoot.com, and this week I have a project to show you. This is what I made for some Christmas presents this year, so of course I had to wait till after Christmas so people wouldn't see their present beforehand. So what you need for this, it's called a distressed canvas, so you just need a canvas, and I actually got the ones that were framed like this so they could be hung or set in an easel when I was done. But you need a plain canvas. You need acrylic medium like this, and you can get this on eBay or different craft shops have it. So acrylic medium gloss is what I got. You need a foam paintbrush, and you need a plain old bottle of water. And we want that set on a mist spray. So for my photo, this has to be printed on a laser printer. I only have black and white, but you can do color too if you want. So I took my picture and I actually cut out the people in the background, and you can use one with a background too. But I changed this color photo to black and white, and I also cut out them. I did a whole bunch of these. So you cut out your people if you want to, and then another good idea is to flip it. This picture is flipped, so when I put it side down it will be the right way around. So you need those things. You actually need a little card, some kind of little card to smooth out your photo, and I'll quickly show you one that I already made. So this is called a distressed canvas, and if you can see in here, it looks like an old photo. So this is a really neat project. It takes a little bit of time, but it's very easy. So I have all my things gathered up, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this. Okay, so my first step in this process is to take my gel medium and just a little foam painting brush like this, and I'm going to coat this entire canvas on the top with a nice layer of the gel medium. So you don't want it gloppy everywhere, but it definitely has to be covered. So I generally put a good layer on, and then I go both directions. I want to make sure it's all covered so it has that nice sheen to it, and also so it'll soak up the ink from my picture. So I'm just going to go over this, make sure it's really nice and covered. Okay, it doesn't matter, it's going to have lines through it, but we just want to get it kind of spread out over the canvas. And our next step is to take our photo and just lightly spray it with water from our bottle. So you don't want to go overboard on this. I've done that before, and then the color leaks out everywhere, all over your canvas, and you cannot finish the process. It won't turn out well at all. So take our photo. I'm going to lay this down, hopefully lining it up the way we want it. And then you just take your card, and I just start in the middle, and you want to smooth this till it's really flat. And you're going to get glops of this medium. I kind of just scrape them back into my jar so I'm not wasting it. Let's smooth out all the air bubbles and make our paper just blend right into the canvas. So you're going to get little lines and stuff in the paper, so you want to just smooth those out. And I just go over it and over it until these wrinkles are gone in my paper. So after this step, you just walk away. Just let it dry. It has to dry for at least 4 hours, maybe a little longer. You can leave it overnight. Won't hurt a thing. So I'm going to scrape up this extra medium off my canvas. And this is the part where we just walk away and let it dry. So I'm going to do that. And when I come back, we'll start working on taking the paper back off. Okay, this is the part of my video where I see how my canvas turned out. So you need a spray bottle of water, and what we're going to do is take our water and just spray this photo. Spray it so much that you can start seeing the picture on the other side coming through. And sometimes I spray this and I just walk away for a while, but if you can see it soaking through little by little, and just get this as wet as you can. And once the paper starts softening up, you're going to be able to start peeling back little by little, and you can use your fingers. You can use a wet cloth. A wet cloth is really helpful for removing it gently, but I do it all sorts of ways. Just pick at it with my fingers. And I'm going to just let this soak for a few minutes. Some of it I can already start taking off. And this is the part that takes just a little bit longer, because as you work on it, it's going to dry out. You're going to have to wet it down, and you'll see that there's some paper left, and it does not matter if there's a thin layer of paper left on your canvas, because at the end we're going to put another coat over it, and you can use that same acrylic medium again, or I like to use the glossy Mod Podge, because then it makes a whole complete layer over the whole thing and you can't see where your paper ended and where the canvas started. So my paper's starting to soften, and I'm just gonna, it's still not quite soaked through, and I really want it to be soaked through so that it's easier to remove and it doesn't take parts of my image off that I don't want to come off. So we're just gonna start peeling this back, peeling the paper off bit by bit. Okay, just checking in to show you the progress I've made. We're not done, still have a little bit to go, but I just want to show you how that laser ink has adhered to the canvas. So we're just peeling away the layers of paper, getting the image to come out from under there. So you can see that paper just comes off in layers. You can see I still have a whole bunch here, and there is a whole layer still over top of the photo. So you can see it starts peeling off in nice big chunks, and as it dries out, you just keep adding water so that we don't damage the photo underneath. So I'm just going to keep working at this, and I will show you again how it's coming in just a little bit. Okay, I tried to show you some of the pictures in between, showing some of the progress. I'm almost done with this. You can see that you can really see that that ink has gotten into the canvas, which is really neat. And as I wiped it, I don't know if you can see on the camera too well, but there's little white parts where the ink has totally come off. And that's your distressed look for your canvas. And if you're not satisfied with the amount of distressing and you want it to look a little older, you can kind of rub it. I do like to rub the edges just a little because these are super sharp. Sometimes I even take my nail in there and just kind of rub some of the ink right off so that it's not such a sharp line along the edge. So you can get in there and take some of that ink off, take off as much as you want. And once you have it all wiped off and have the little pieces of paper off, all you have to do is let it dry, because you've been wetting it over and over to get this paper off, and there might still be a little layer of paper on there. I can still see paper coming off, but as long as when you're finished you have it wiped nice and dry without all these little crumbs of paper on it, you're good to go. And so I'm gonna let mine sit here and dry a little bit, and after that the final step is just to put some Mod Podge, or you can use the acrylic medium again. The thing I don't quite like is I can still see the line of the paper, the little bits of paper that are left on there. I can see that square around there where it's not as shiny as the rest of the canvas, and I don't care for that. So that's why I tend to use the glossy Mod Podge, and then if you can see on this one, it's shiny all over and it's nice and even. So I'll let mine dry and then we'll come back and do the final step. Okay, so I have let my canvas dry and we only have one more step to go. I'm going to take my Mod Podge, and this is gloss because I am going to keep that same shininess as I had with the gloss gel. And the Mod Podge is just a teensy bit shinier. But all you do, and this looks like probably looks like I'm going to ruin it, but I am not. This looks white. But it will actually seal this canvas so that this picture will stay on there and not have a chance of getting any more of the paint knocked off it. So I just go back and forth and up and down and coat that, and this takes a few hours to dry so that it's really nice and dried well. So we're just going to put it nice and thickly over there, back and forth, up and down, and just make sure the whole front of that canvas is covered. You can do down the sides if you want to also, but I just tend to go right over the front and try to make sure there's no globs around there. But you just want a nice even heavy coat on it. And that's pretty good. So I'm just going to leave this to dry, and I will show you what it looks like when we're done. But that is this really neat distressed canvas project.